Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to day number 2 of the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai here. My name's Kyle Laris, alongside Apollo for what will be our first game in just a little bit, but I think we had some technical issues, so apologies for that, guys. But we are back, and now get to some good games going.
That's right, a couple of tech issues this morning and yesterday, of course, that we had to go through, but finally everything is now ready, and we can actually begin the main tournament of the Season 8 Intel Extreme Masters live from Shanghai. Just finished up with the qualifiers. We saw Grubby just now narrowly miss out on making it into the main tournament. That main tournament consisting of 16 players. He did lose out to Oz, who was the last player to move in.
Tough fought battle there. Tough fought battle. First 2 games a little bit shorter than that third one, going right the whole way. As Oz being triumphant with very, very cool Tempest, playing good positioning. But now, guys, we have our first game in Group A. It's going to be MyuNgSiK versus DongRaeGu. And if anybody was watching the Korean qualifiers, you know MyuNgSiK's a bit of an interesting character.
Yeah, I mean, what a great game to kick off the first game of the 16-player tournament. Yeah. $25,000 on the line, a Tier 1 tournament. First place claiming 750 points, towards the WCS ranking at the end of the year. I'm excited for this one. It's a great first match to kick us off. It
certainly is. MyuNgSiK showing some fantastic play, especially against Zergs. We saw him against Innovation do very well, taking Innovation even to the very, very brink of defeat, which is one of the biggest feats in StarCraft 2 right now. And then going up against Zergs in the form of Hyun, twice in fact, bringing some very, very cool, interesting play. Our first map will be Belshir Vestige here to see what happens between MyuNgSiK and DongRaeGu. So let's get right into game number 1 to see what's going to happen here in Group A. Yeah,
I mean, DongRaeGu so far undefeated, making his way through the open bracket. 2-0. His first game was against Imphy. His second game was against Oz. And then finally rounding it up against Grubby. 6-0 in map so far. 4-0 against Protoss players. Well, he's got another Protoss player right here.
Very impressive stuff. Will he continue that domination here in this tournament, as we have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner as our red Zerg? He is MVP DongRaeGu. And spawning up to the top left-hand corner as our blue Protoss. A very interesting player thus far, not that well known, representing KT Rolster. He is MyuNgSiK.
That's right, MyuNgSiK, one of 2 players to make his way through the Korean and Taiwanese qualifier. We had the pleasure of casting him a couple of weeks back in. Well, we knew that back then he was just a mid-tier KT roster Protoss player, and we kind of spoke about that back then. But after that tournament, we kind of come to realize that this guy had something a little bit special about him.
Oh yeah,
he played absolutely fantastic, only losing out to Innovation, who was one player that did qualify but couldn't make it, unfortunately, because of other commitments, which is why we had Hyun make his way instead as a replacement. But MyuNgSiK, showing signs of brilliance, had awesome builds, awesome strategies, with perfection when it comes to actually bringing down what he intended to do.
Yeah, very cool ability to play out exactly what his opponent was up to, in the form of Hyun playing very, very greedy. Some cool builds from him. Newkirk Precinct does come to mind. And for now, we'll see what he brings against DongRaeGu. DongRaeGu is a little bit of a different breed in comparison to Hyun, but certainly can bring essences of similar plays as well.
Yeah, DRG is a player that isn't quite there yet, I say isn't quite there yet, he's been there and come back down. But now he's back on the rise again. This could be his tournament where we say DRG is back. But, he's going to have to bring the results. He's got the qualifier spot, he's into the main tournament, and now's his first game, group format, just normal GSL group format. There's the first match, second match, winner's match, loser match, then final match, just like the WCS format that we cast week in, week out.
Yeah, we're loving it, man. So the winner of this will play against Titan or Revival, depending on who actually wins that. And we'll actually, I believe, we'll be following the winner through, according to schedule, as long as that permits. So whoever wins this will probably be casting those next.
Alright, so as you can see, these builds in the game, the strategies so far that have been laid out, kind of normal. We've got just the regular Forged Nexus coming down, and then on the other hand, we just got, spawning point to hatchery, third hatchery coming down. The most economic setup here for DRG, He knows that he doesn't need to rush gas down at all because he is playing against a Protoss player who's taken to Nexus really early on.
Yeah, I think for DongRaeGu going into this group, it was a good thing for him. Going up against 2 Protoss in his group potentially. This is his best matchup statistically right now in Heart of the Swarm. 62% win ratio there for him. Yeah. So that being said, though, his ZVZ is his worst matchup. So if he was have to go up against Revival next, that might be a little bit of a tough spell. Revival ZVZ very good.
Yeah, Revival, a solid, I wouldn't call him the best player on EG, but he's definitely one of the players in the middle of the ranks that can bring out results and potentially beat anybody on a good day. And that, arguably makes one of the most dangerous players within that group or within this group. And of course, Titan being the Europe qualifier is the 4th player within this group. And we'll see how it's going to shape up because this should be a solid tournament. The players that we have within this tournament, a lot of Koreans, 1 Chinese player in the name of Max Said, and then we've got QXC in, Slivko, Titan, and of course the Australian IEM.
It's one of the most stacked lineups we've actually had in the IEM for Intellectual Masters for a long time. If you discount the fact that there was a World Championship, aside from that, very, very stacked lineup here. MyuNgSiK having a scout around, seeing what's going on. Sees creep being spread pretty rapidly here from DongRaeGu, but will be chased back for now after getting confirmation of that 3rd.
And super normal setup here for DRG, just taking his gases down at roughly 5 minutes 55 seconds. It's not too late, it's not too early. It's the perfect time for him to start to look towards if he wants to get Zergling speed. Nice to know that's the first upgrade you usually get. And then of course continue tech from here on out. But MyuNgSiK on the other hand, no tech at all. No additional gateways, no +1. Just a couple of gateway units and a very early 3rd Nexus.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. How is DongRaeGu going to react to this? Because depending on that, that's going to tell us how MyuNgSiK is going to react to this. His reactionary play before was fantastic in the qualification process. Zergling's going to try and run out on this, but they don't have speed, so can't really do a whole lot just yet.
And if I'm not mistaken, DRG has seen this.
Yes,
he poked his overload up there, he spotted it. He currently is dealing with these 2 stalkers, a bit of a nuisance, but he has spotted it, as we can see now on screen. And now with spotting it, he has 2 options. Well, 3 options actually. you play very greedy and take a 4th base, which could be cancelled by an aggressive Protoss player who bounces back from his 3rd. Then the next option is you tech up incredibly fast, or you try to stop it.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 options now he has to choose from. MyuNgSiK has decided his follow without DRG even making his own.
Yeah, seemingly. Well, the layer's morphing in here for DongRaeGu, but behind this for MyuNgSiK, we have 2 Stargates on the way. So, I mean, he probably will start producing Phoenix from these. I'm curious if he actually adds on the 3rd.
Yeah, there we do.
Was it the 3rd one?
That's right.
Well, here we go then. It's a MyuNgSiK special.
It's a MyuNgSiK special here. And if you don't know MyuNgSiK's style, is that he likes to take a fast 3rd base. And it has been spotted early here by DRG. This is a good scout, a good spot. But MyuNgSiK's style that we saw in the qualifiers, 3 Stargates after a 3rd Nexus, and he ramps up that Phoenix production. He gets them rolling, stops at roughly 13 was his older style, this is the one that we saw come out. And then he'd hit you with a big, big timing. 13 Phoenix with the amount of energy they all have, do a lot of damage. DRG spotted it. DRG's a smart player. The Koreans know everything about everybody within their own scene. MyuNgSiK, of course, being another Korean player here. Hydra's already coming out, or at least the den's down. Double Evo as well to upgrade from both of them.
And I suppose the advantage here for MyuNgSiK in terms of the unit he's producing is if you are chrono boosting out Phoenix, they come out super, super fast. Interestingly though, he doesn't... okay, started the Phoenix production once again here. So MyuNgSiK is going to be going for this straight style that we saw against Hyun in that qualifier. And it's going to be very interesting to see if DRG can actually hold it.
And 6 Spore Crawlers coming in as well. To make sure that the Phoenixes don't slow him down, they're going to be placed across the 3 bases, 2 on each. And the Hydra's already been displayed here to MyuNgSiK, who is continuing Phoenix production. Remember, Phoenixes, at the right amount, do well versus Hydras. They pick off light units. Hydras are light units here. But the question is, will there be too many Hydras? Are the Spore Crawlers in fantastic position? Look at the upgrades, though. Not Hydra upgrades. Zergling upgrades are on the way here for DRG. So he's saying, I'm going to build a few Hydras. We're going to stop you. but my Lings are going to kill you, and everything that you are not upgrading because you're throwing all your money into Phoenixes.
Wow, and finding an opportunity here to pump out an extra 14 drones just to try and keep up that economy as high as he can do. Even more Hydras in production now as well. Of course, the Phoenix are a huge, huge threat when this build actually hits. 13 Phoenix are already out on the field. Gateway count right now, he only actually has 5 gateways, so his ground force going to be relatively small, but he's going to be negating a lot of damage in this battle.
Only 12 Hydras. Imagine if he picked up, let's say, 9, or not all of them because he won't have the damage from the Phoenixes, but 13 Phoenixes, he picks up, let's say, 8. Has 5 Phoenixes doing the damage elsewhere. That's a lot of damage.
Oh, and he is going to start picking up quite a lot of them here to begin things, and they die so quickly to those Phoenix. Sporecrawler's doing a bit of damage, so he does have to pull those Phoenix back for now. Not that many more gateway units here, but they will plow on forwards with those force fields and time warps helping out in unison. But once again, such good lifts here. DongRaeGu's army disintegrates to the Phoenix, and they're ruling the roost right now.
11 out of the 13 Phoenix survive here. Looks like we may see another one drop just on the right-hand side there. No, it does stay alive. The Phoenixes are reigning superiority here. Ling upgrades weren't quite there. The 1-1 was seconds away from finishing. DRG has Lings, but does he have enough to deal with the Phoenixes?
He's still, behind this, only had 5 gateways, and even that many Zealots are still alive right now. So DongRaeGu, he did claim his 4th base, yes, but it's under a lot of threat right now. If DongRaeGu can't save that and he's stuck on 3 base, whilst Protoss is on 3 base, he's going to have a hard time.
Yeah, and well, you know, Zealots, even without upgrades, are still pretty good. The Phoenixes come in one more time and they pick up even more Hydralisks. And the Phoenix count's still at 11. It's still at 11, and the efficiency from regenerating the energy and coming in again.
It's a brutal assault. It's an absolutely brutal assault. And behind this, the follow-up is on the way. He's adding on a second Robo. He's adding a Robo Bay, +1 weapons. These things, with retaining so many Zealots on the ground, I'm not sure how these Hydras for DongRaeGu can actually hold this off. Okay, so MyuNgSiK's plan with the double Colossus is pick off this 4th base and say, see you later, and go home, Polaris. Because with double Colossus coming in, a +1 attack, Thermal Lance, Void Rays just to say, screw it, you know what, I can. DRG is stuck on Ling Hydras. There's no Roach Warren. There's no Infestation Pit. There's no future for him at this point. He's got Ling upgrades. Yeah.
How does he play against Colossus with Void Rays, with still 10 Phoenix around? This is a scary build to try and counter. We're yet to see someone defeat it just yet. Admittedly, there's only been 2 games that we've actually seen. Yeah. But once we do see someone deal with it, that's gonna be very interesting. Because right now it's hard. Definitely think he shouldn't have gone for as many Lings as he did. Yeah. Much more Hydras, pure Hydras to a certain extent. Even getting the +1 attack for the Hydralisks. I felt or feel that would have been the much better option. Just pump out Hydras. Because this takes a while to get up to 75. He's at the great Hydra count now, but it's too late. Yeah. There's already Colossus on the way, and the Colossus is coming out 2 by 2 here. You're saying, basically, if you crush this a little bit easier with pure Hydra, then maybe you can even go for a counter-attack, keep your opponent on the back foot. Exactly, and then even throw down a Spire and start building Corruptors to bring down the inevitable Colossus play, or something along those lines, but much heavier focus on Hydralisk. Look at how many Overlords are now going down. The supply is disgustingly bad here for DRG. Sporecrawler's not there to deny that. The Hydras try and come back, but even with Muscular Augments, can't get back in time. Zergling's going for a counter here at the 3rd base, trying to kill off some of the probes, but those Zealots warping in as well as that well-positioned cannon. No way, Jose. Bye-bye. Yeah, not looking good. Look at the units killed, 128 to 21. Oh, the resources lost tab is disgusting. Yeah, units lost tab there. 10,000 for DRG, just 3,000 for MyuNgSiK here. Looking to close this up. This is a best of 3, remember. This is the first map. So far, so good here for MyuNgSiK. The KT Rolster, same team as Flash. And of course, that team, an incredible team. Not quite making it to the playoffs within Pro League. Or no, not the playoffs, sorry, to the finals of Pro League, but still. One of the better teams, and here comes the final push. And MyuNgSiK making Protoss really exciting to watch here as those Hydras dance back from this army. It's so much power in MyuNgSiK's army right now. The Zealots can tank a lot, but he's going to pull back. He doesn't want to just sacrifice his army for whatever reason. He's 200-200. He can now deny the 4th base if he wants to go home, but he could just finish it right here. Yeah, even though the ground upgrades aren't good, it's the units that he has. Look at this follow-up. Absolute domination from MyuNgSiK again. We saw it in the qualifiers, and we are seeing it again. Look at this. Wow, MyuNgSiK showing fantastic play in game number 1. GG for him as he takes that first game. That's right, he does take this first game. Remember though, towards the end of this afternoon, just to remind you guys, we will be having players on stage. You'll be able to see your favorite players play. But right now, that's not quite the case, as they are getting set up to do so.
Yep.
But looking at this series, MyuNgSiK, what a fantastic performance again from him.
One game up right now. I mean, what happens in game number 2? I don't know the map, but we will find that out in just a second. And, I mean, despite this Phoenix play coming out from MyuNgSiK, we saw previous other games from him as well that were very, very strong. So he does have a lot of tricks up his sleeve, one of them being this, which I really want to see a Zerg, a formidable Zerg, come up and try and defeat that properly. You know, there's a couple of fantastic Zerg players here. You know, a lot of people do say that Jaedong's Achilles heel is Protoss, but he's a thinker, he's a clever little individual. But the player that I would love to see play against MyuNgSiK, if we were to see another Zerg player, would be Hyun. Yep. Absolutely, the recent DreamHack champion, the latest StarCraft 2 tournament champion, and of course he was the player that played 5 maps against him in the qualifier run. He lost 4-1 overall, did take 1 map, but still, I think he'd love to get his hands on a bit of revenge. Oh yeah, definitely. Right, game number 2 is on the way here. Star Station is our map. Third base, a little bit more tricky here for MyuNgSiK to take as quickly as he would do on Belshir Vestige, but he's MyuNgSiK. He might just do it for whatever. I
don't know, man. Anything is possible from this player. Very creative one. Let's see what he's going to do now, loading into map number 2. Is it going to be the same? Is it not going to be the same? Looks like we did have a bit of a loading issue, so we will just take a quick minute to sort that out and get in. But yeah, Star Station, traditionally, is a more difficult map for Protoss players to play on against Zerg players. Yeah. I mean, we say that a lot because it's true. We've even seen Protoss strategies develop around the difficulties that they have, that they focus more so on Blinkstalkers and Immortals. Yeah. A larger ground army to deal with the weakness of having a larger surface area to defend. If you go Colossus, you have a smaller unit because they're expensive. A smaller army, you have a smaller area to actually sit in with your army. More force fields need to be spread. But if you have a larger army, that's not the problem. But is that even the case for MyuNgSiK? Does he even care?
We'll see, man. We shall see. He's certainly very, very interesting when it comes to those strategies. And just in general, I mean, his PvZ matchup, it's not the most impressive in terms of win percentages. It's like 55%. Yeah. But when you look at the players that he's been playing in things like Pro League, for example, the rare times that he's appeared, they've been pretty impressive opponents. And as of late, he's not really dropped too much to Zerg. So looking really, really good with his own brand of PvZ.
Yeah. So we'll see if he can continue on with that own brand of PvZ. Can he continue his domination here at the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai 2013? The first of 5 different stops: Singapore, New York, Sao Paulo, ending in Katowice.
Katowice. Looking forward to going back to there, man. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But now spawning up to the top right-hand corner here as our red Zerg once again. Currently 1 game down. He is MVP DongRaeGu. And spawn down to the bottom left-hand corner as our blue Protoss. 1 game up, looking very, very impressive here in PvZ. We have KT Rolster's MyuNgSiK.
And let me tell you, everybody that isn't in China, maybe you're in Australia, but it's winter there, and I know that. Yeah. It is hot. It is hot. Here, under the lights on the stage.
The air conditioning's even on, man.
The air conditioning is on, but it is not working to what we would like. We are from England. We like cold weather and rain.
Yeah,
it is true. The complete opposite here.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, but we'll get through it, man. We'll get through it together.
We'll fight through. Yep. We'll fight through.
Ooh, gateway opener. I like it.
A mix-up here from MyuNgSiK, going for his gateway opening over the traditional Nexus first or Forge. Both do get to the same area, just depends on whether you like to get the Forge a little bit later, a little bit safer than grabbing that Nexus. DRG in retaliation, when he finally spots this and sees that it is a gateway play, will have to absolutely get down an early gas to get Zergling speed. You don't know the follow-up to this, whether it's aggression off multiple gateways. Maybe it's just a handful of gateways, just a couple of gateway units into tech. By the way, that League of Legends caster.
Yeah, you like? Yeah. She's nice. She is nice. Or, unless you mean the guy, then
Claris.
Anyway, well,
look at this build from DRG.
Where is he?
3 hatch before pool
against a gateway opener?
A gateway opener.
Jeez, this guy.
If I'm look.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
I think he saw with the drone.
Oh my God, DRG.
He's doing what he did against Gribby.
Oh my gosh. All right, so what he's doing is, as you say, this is incredibly greedy, by the way. Look, his spawning pool only just now coming down at 325. 3 hatcheries before spawning pool, but upon realizing his opponent was playing gateway, it's a nice opener if you look at it. You go there with your drone, you're like, oh, okay, Nexus, 3 hatch, I'll open.
Yep.
But if you, like 3 hatch of his own, and then if he's like gateway, he's like, oh, okay, I'll do this instead.
And I'm wondering how many lings we're going to see in production here. MyuNgSiK starts wall off already. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Those lings were a thorn in Grubby's side for a long, long time because they were able to get in so easily previously.
Yeah, the best way for MyuNgSiK to play with this is to, what's that poster? Is keep going, is it stay calm, keep going, is what you should actually, stay calm, keep going.
Something like that.
It's because what he needs to do now is bring a couple of units down. He will need to add on probably extra gateways here. I'd imagine so. It's going to be very difficult to keep his money around 400 minerals. He's doing it at the moment, but it is going to keep climbing. So I'd like to see, 2 extra gateways to create the wall off. Don't throw him in the main base, just create the wall off like you would do usually. Bring this down. As it finishes, just take the Nexus. What I'd even like to say maybe come down is maybe even, because you're going to have to wait for creep, what about a robotics facility inside the main base?
Yeah.
Maybe get a warp prison, maybe do some harassment, maybe something along those lines.
Nice choice. And DongRaeGu, well, I mean, this is cool that he's been doing this. I've really liked it. Oh, he even got the Zealot with the Broodling. So, I mean, a nice little trade in the end. Really delays all of this. Zergling's in production as well. Don't think they're going to do a whole lot. Could even throw down a force field on his ramp if he wanted to, actually. Yeah,
he's not going to lose the sentry here as he micros properly. He will get down in health just a little bit, but should be okay. And okay, with a force field. Oh, I didn't think he'd be able to get that. I didn't think he'd be able to get that.
So close.
But look at MyuNgSiK's follow-up. He's already got tech inside his main base. He's kept his minerals around 400. It is obviously a little bit higher because creep has not exceeded yet. It's still there.
Oh, and I don't think that pylon actually got spotted by those Zerglings. They barely grazed that. So, very sneaky little positioning here by MyuNgSiK. And, I mean, we've got to go back to DongRaeGu. DongRaeGu, he's earned $209,000 during his entire career. He's fallen off a little bit, but he's won 6 major and premier titles in the past.
Yeah.
He is one of the highest earning StarCraft players of all time right now.
But his last tournament win, Kolaris, was over a year ago.
So long.
It was over 12 months ago now. And, of course, was in MLG back in the day, the Spring Championship.
He wants to get back there.
He needs to get back there.
Oh, nice spot here eventually, but those Zealots will hold these Zerglings at bay for a little bit. Yeah. Mothership Core there as well, helping out.
DRG's expecting this. He's already got 12. He just had like 12 or 10 links pop out with more on the way.
Yeah.
He's expecting his opponent, who is playing from behind, who did add on additional gateways earlier, to try something like this. But he should be completely fine with the amount of links he's got coming. The next part which he needs to worry about is, of course, these Phoenixes.
Yeah, those Phoenix. MyuNgSiK, he loves his Phoenix. It's going to be a far different opener, though, to what we've seen prior, as these Phoenix might get the 4, might go further.
Yeah.
We've seen, actually, a lot of people on 1 Stargate now going up to even 7 or 8, which has been quite interesting.
Well, he's at 5 Zealots, and he's got 3 Phoenixes. He picks up the Queens here with the Mothership Core, and maybe a couple more Zealots in the mix. MyuNgSiK's dedicating quite a lot of resources to be able to try to bring this down. Let's see if he whoops in some more units here.
Really good defensive positioning with those Zealots.
Sentry back at home. Is he going to warp in 2 more Zealots aggressively here? Come on. Yeah, look at that. 2 Zealots warp in. All right, then. And DRG's on the other side. I don't think this is going to be too breakable here. He's going to lose his 3rd base. His sentries, it can be warped in. Actually, I say that. There's not that much gas in the bank.
Yeah, he's going to have a hard time, actually.
He needs to warp in more here. He's created a wall off.
The sentry is going to try and block that.
He's pylon blocked. He can't warp in 1 more sentry. He needs to create a wall off.
Oh, this is going to be damn close. There's so many Zerglings.
No, where's the wall off? Oh, DRG's in.
Uh-oh. Bad times. Recalls back, realizing that there is a lot of trouble afoot.
Oh, this is a winner-winner situation here for DRG. If he pulls down this Nexus and keep his 3rd alive, this series could be tied up here.
Very, very good play here by DongRaeGu right now, realizing his opponent's weakness is killing off the natural expansion. Very well played. Good here for DongRaeGu, even isolating a lot of these Zealots. There's really not much production left here for MyuNgSiK. It's very difficult to warp in anything. Yeah,
DRG saw the units warping in. He stopped at his drones at 45 or whatnot and said, all right, you're on 2 base. I don't need that many drones. I'm just going to keep on building Zerglings. And oh boy, did he. As we can see, he's running circles around MyuNgSiK in this game.
All those drones get pulled off, probes get pulled off the line, realizing he knows he's in trouble. He knows he's almost down and out here. 25 workers to 54. Even if we were able to hold off the income that he has right now will be significantly lower. MyuNgSiK in a world of hurt right now.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all. Look at that worker supply 57, and he just calls GG. MVP DRG taking map number 2.
Wow. I'm impressed by DongRaeGu's opener against Gateway Expand. It's really hard to make it work out. We've seen Grubby fall to it pretty darn admittedly, in the form of DongRaeGu, of course. And now he just comes along and says, MyuNgSiK, don't go Gateway Expand, man. I think we'll see a Forge next.
In this series, I think people are going to lose their eyes. They're going to come out the sockets because not too many people are expecting this to happen. A lot of people pegging MyuNgSiK to do well, considering the quality that he displayed in the qualify, in the run, only losing to Innovation, the best player in the world. There's no doubt Innovation's the #1 in StarCraft 2 at the moment, and it makes sense that he'd lose. But as you said, the games were very close.
Yeah,
very close.
They were. Well, Red City will be our next map, Apollo.
Oh, this is a map that gets vetoed out a lot.
Yeah, you don't see it too much.
And it's made its way through. I think the reason for this being is that Red City has been used a lot within OSL, has been used a lot within Pro League over the last month. So I think these players would have practiced it. Of course, MyuNgSiK being playing on a pro gamer team within the Kesper organizations, KT, they're very, very strict on how they practice certain maps and whatnot. So maybe this is his map choice. Maybe this is what he just wants to do and pull out on.
I think I'd have to go with that. I really like this map as a Protoss player. But anyway, guys, we'll jump into game number 3 as we have Red City our map. So let's jump right on in. And spawning up down to the bottom left-hand corner here as our Red Zerg once again, we have MVP DongRaeGu. And spawning down to the bottom right as our blue Protoss, we have KT Roasters, MyuNgSiK.
All right, MyuNgSiK City.
MyuNgSiK
City. Versus DRG, a former multiple, as you said, champion. MyuNgSiK in StarCraft 2 has just been this mid-tier Protoss player, as described earlier. For KT Roaster, he comes out, play a couple of PvPs in Pro League, and he started to come out more and more towards the end season of Pro League, which will be starting up again, I guess. I don't know when Pro League starts up again, I guess towards the end of the year.
Well, I mean, in essence, I mean, for a lot of foreigners, at least, that qualifier that we had, everyone was like, who's this MyuNgSiK guy? Who is this guy? And then they were like, oh, he's that MyuNgSiK guy. He made a name for himself already without even winning a tournament in the foreign scene.
He killed it, man.
Yeah.
He beat Hyun, who's regarded as definitely top 5 Zerg player.
Yeah.
And, he made him look silly. Made him look silly. 4 games to 1. And then, of course, he slapped down any other Protoss players. He did well against Terran players as well. As mentioned, only losing to Innovation. But we'll see. How he's going to do it this tournament. His first big tournament in StarCraft 2. DRG, a veteran when it comes to playing StarCraft 2 tournaments internationally as well, has won many.
MyuNgSiK, man, going for the gateway again. I'm surprised by this, but I'm slightly not at the same time. It's Red City, a map where all spawns are viable. So, for DongRaeGu to send out a drone early and maybe try and get a hatchery down, there's a bit of a gamble involved in that in terms of the lack of productiveness from a drone. So, it's not too bad here for MyuNgSiK right now.
Yeah, not too bad. Just setting up their openers for this map number 3 between the 2 players. And as we described earlier, the winner will move on to play either Titan or Revival, the winner of that series, in the winner's match. And of course, the winner of that moves into the round of 8 straight away.
Yeah.
8 players going to qualify from these 4 different group stages. We'll be playing out Group A, B, and C today, followed by Group D, which is the very exciting group, actually, Group D, the one with Hyun, Pult, the Australian Igers thrown into the pits there, and DayZ making it into the round of 16. Funnily, DayZ though, if anyone wants to look it up, we're not gonna beat around the bush here at the Industry Masters Claris. DayZ played 1 series to qualify.
Yeah. Admittedly, it was MC.
It was MC,
but
he
it
had
was
a
1 series.
Bye against Bjorn, 1 win against MC, and a bye against Jim to make it into where he is today, or tomorrow.
It was a pretty easy day for DayZ yesterday.
Yes, 1 PvP series, and congratulations, you're top 16 already. You're in the tournament.
Woohoo! Well, MVP poking on DRG poking on forward, sees a pylon at that natural, knows there's pretty much an expansion there already after seeing a sentry. Behind this, he adds on a Roach Warren a little quicker than I was expecting here for DongRaeGu.
Yeah, this is a bit of a, as we like to call it, cheese. Rodney, get the cheese.
Get the cheese, mate.
All right, so with the Roach Warren coming down, we've got Zergling speed on the way. It's just going to be Zergling Roach attack.
Yep.
At the moment, the setup is no forge, no cannons. A Stargate is down early. Right now, DRG has no scouting information. This is just pure and simple. And all that. He's like, all right, whatever you're doing, whatever it is, I don't care. DRG! DRG!
DRG!
Remember the chants from the MLGs back in the day?
Yeah.
The Roaches are on the way as Zergling's ready to reinforce too. A Void Ray is the ideal. Ideal.
But it's not right now. Well, it's not on the way right now,
but does the Mothership Core see it?
They do.
Does he see the Roaches? That's an early scout, man.
That is.
I cancel the Phoenix, and I'm chrono boosting out a Void Ray right now.
He cancelled. Where is it? There we go. All right. Well, MyuNgSiK.
He's got 2 force fields to hold on for now. He's got to be careful not to lose the pylons in the wall that turns the gateways off, which is why we see additional pylons coming in. MyuNgSiK City!
Well, I mean, the Stargate's there as well. It's not going to die before that first Void Ray comes out, I don't think.
But it may die after the first one is out, right? So he's only going to have 1 Void Ray. It means he's got to focus on getting the forge down, getting cannons, getting additional sentries.
Oh, this is going to be close here. That pylon is under assault very, very quickly here. Those Zerglings could actually just breach straight on through into the main. And this 1 Void Ray is going to have this work cut out for it. Oh, Zerglings do flood in here. Photon overcharge as well on that Nexus. One of the sentries goes down to those Zerglings.
Is he going to hold? It looks like this could be a fantastic hold here.
Oh, how many? Does he have any sentries?
Needs to create a pylon or something on that left-hand side. The units are in, but the Void Ray is doing so much here.
Void Ray killing off. There's only 2 Roaches left over. Those Zerglings need to be cleaned up as well. Probe should have an easier time actually dealing with just around 8 Zerglings in comparison to the flood of units that actually came in. Oh, but more Zerglings actually come in as well. He doesn't really have that much production. He doesn't even have Warp Gate on one of these gateways.
Doesn't want to lose too many probes here. He's at 25. He's already dropped down to 20. He's starting to lose them. The Void Ray not so good against Zerglings. More and more Zerglings streaming across the front wall needs to be walled off. He cannot keep letting these Lings in. Otherwise, he will lose too many probes.
Oh, DongRaeGu could have done it here if he's able to break down this pylon. There's still no more gateway units.
Hunts probes.
He needs to get those down. The Void Ray still doing a lot of damage to these Zerglings, but it doesn't kill them off quickly enough, I don't think, for him to lose them all. How many loads has he got left? He's got 16 workers to 31. So if he can recover from this position, it's going to be fantastic for MyuNgSiK, but I don't think it's going to be possible.
DRG, 45 supply to 30. This is the DRG, as mentioned, that you were chanting back in the MLG days. This is the man. Can he do it? He's currently in a lead. He's destroyed a lot of probes. He has 35 to 16. He's got a lot of queens and a spore crawl in case of the Void Ray making its way across. Ideally, he wouldn't want to get the 3rd cancel, which is why he's creep spreading and sending queens over towards that. But, you know, this is tense. This is tense for MyuNgSiK.
Such good decision-making from DongRaeGu to go for that earlier aggression here. And now with the 2 Void Rays out, yes, they're out. Maybe MyuNgSiK wants to make more Void Rays and try and go for hatchery snipe somewhere. But other than that, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to actually make something fully work out against the great economy that DongRaeGu has right now.
Yeah, it was a decent setup there from MyuNgSiK, but not quite enough to not lose too many probes. You can see inside the main base, his income is hurting. He's only at 700 minerals a minute compared to DRG, who's almost doubling. Currently at 1,200. Look at all those pylons, which are, you know, effectively useless.
Yeah.
At this point, he's got 44, supply over 92. He's got so much empty space.
The opportunity cost is completely wasted on that right now, and that's a brutal thing for MyuNgSiK to deal with. But he had to in the end. It saved him his life, but will it save him the game in the end? The force field goes down again.
I think the best place for DRG to be in right now is just keep his queen defense down, which he should be okay. He's got creep spread around. He shouldn't lose too much here. There is a spore crawl in the mix, which MyuNgSiK didn't even see. It's below the overlords.
Yeah.
But the best thing to do, I think now for DRG, single evolution chamber. Just come on, just get a cheeky upgrade, and then Hydras. Just go for it, man. Get those Hydras down.
Yep, that would be very, very nice indeed here. Well, it looks like, well, he still has those 2 Void Rays out. Layer is morphing in here, so that's fine for him. And seems like he's continuing to just throw down those force fields, making sure that those Zerglings can't really do too much at the front, bring those Void Rays back as well. But he added on a second Roach Roaring, which was kind of weird, as, well, he was just on autopilot, basically, so that was fine for him. So, meanwhile, what else do we have actually going on? In production, that Hydralisk Den is going down. Clear Reconstitution on the way as well here. So, plenty for DongRaeGu to constantly transition on here, as he's got Zergling's position very well as well, just to make sure that he doesn't have any proxies, pylons actually go down.
Yeah, well, this game's going to go one way or the other now, isn't it? 87 supply to 65. As DRG is going over towards those Hydralisks as described. I would have liked to see an upgrade. I am a fan of getting that +1 attack.
Yep, that'd be nice. And there's another base going down for DongRaeGu anyway. He feels so comfortable right now, I think.
Yeah. This is a very comfortable position to be in. He's got a cushion under his chair right now.
Yep.
He's getting a back massage from a Chinese lady.
He is.
He's in a beautiful position. But the question is now, what does MyuNgSiK do? He's currently getting +1 attack. He's only got a couple of units. What? You know, he's been building probes. He's trying to get back in the game economy-wise. 4 Zealots, 4 Sentries, and just those 2 Void Rays left over. That's not a lot. And the Hydras are counting. The creep spread's great. DRG can beat MyuNgSiK in this game.
He certainly can. He certainly can. Production, MyuNgSiK's trying to transition back into his Stargate play. I think it's just too late. I don't think he can make this work.
Yeah, the only words that I'm hearing echoed again and again and again is from the game Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Finish him! Because that's the position that DRG is in. 145 supply to 93. He's got the Hydralisk making, he's getting his Evolution Chamber, but the one big thing is that he didn't get the Evolution Chamber to make more Hydras, to make more units. Why does he need upgrades if he can just overwhelm his opponent?
Yeah.
And that's what he's looking to do here with this attack. This third base, I'm finding it very hard to see this living.
Well, Void Ray is still in production here, but I don't think that's really going to matter too much as those Hydralisks and Zerglings go completely to work on this base. Muscle Augments is eventually going to be kicking in, but regardless of that, Time Warp slowing those Hydralisks down. He traps a few of them, but the Zerglings just flood straight on in behind those sentries. They're going to kill off a lot of them in the process. DongRaeGu playing out this series fantastically in the very end.
Yeah, look at this. DRG comes crashing through towards this third Nexus, bringing down the Mothership Core as well. GG! DRG opens up the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai 2013 Game 1 of Group A with a victory.
Very, very impressive stuff from him. He moves on to that winners match to determine who gets that first spot in the round of 8. He's going to be going up against either Revival or Titan.
Yeah.
And good games all around, man.
That's, of course, the other stream that we have running is Nathanius' stream, which is covering that game.
Yep.
And we'll be covering the rest of Group A. We'll be going into the winners match straight away from this. And then straight after that, hopefully, we'll be going into the final match of Group A to decide who moves on and who doesn't.
Sick stuff. And then also, guys, don't forget, Groups B and C will be today. Group D will be tomorrow.
That's right.
So if you're waiting for any of those players, that will be tomorrow. But obviously, there's more great games on the way today.
That's right. So the next game coming up here will be, of course, DRG going up against the winner of Titan and Revival. And the commentators for that game will be Maynard and Todd. Awesome. It's going to be a good one, guys. So you best not go anywhere, should they, Cloris?
No, they best not. So join us after the break, guys, when we'll have different commentators, different players here from the Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai.